Welcome, reading number 2. You chose contemplation. So I'm going to put this over here so you can get a nice look at it. And you could take a screenshot if you want. And we have a word here, solas. I love the little hearts here. Hold on. By the way, do you guys remember that thing, like when we were kids, it was like contemplation, initiation, contemplation now begins, starting with the name of, is that right? If I'm saying it wrong, please, I'm begging you, put it in the description box and please correct me. But do you know what I'm talking about? That's what this reminds me of, or that's what I heard. Like, I can't remember the last time I even heard that. Sometimes the readings, when I do these readings, I'll get like messages at the beginning and sometimes I won't. And I'm hearing to go into, pulling that close because I wanted you guys to get like a good screenshot of it. But I was just getting this vibe. Oh, look at that. Oh, what's going on? What is going on? That is bizarre. What is going on? I love it. But I'm getting the vibe from Spirit to just jump into the book. Okay, so contemplation, reflection, understanding life lessons. So remember that we just came off the third quarter moon and the seventh phase of the moon cycle and the transition and forgiveness. And we are approaching, or in, I guess right now, we are in the waning crescent, the last phase of the moon, rest and restore. So for you guys, it's interesting because even though the third quarter moon was yesterday, I feel like we had, if you didn't watch the reading for the collective at the beginning, I highly suggest you go and watch it because we spoke about that and like what transition and forgiveness, like, how we can utilize that to actually aid us on our path. But I feel like for you guys, because contemplation, reflection, it's all about like rest and restore. Right? Like the best way to reflect on something is to sit back and be really quiet and calm and think about it. So in this waning crescent energy, whenever you watch this, it's always timeless, of course, but in real time, the new moon in Leo is coming up around the corner. So, there must be something going on with you guys. Maybe you just got out of a transition and you're working on the forgiveness part. Maybe Spirit is trying to urge you to use the waning crescent energy to rest and restore so that you can contemplate on it. It's going to be different for all of you. This is a mass reading, but understanding and life lessons is pretty powerful. And with each of these cards, there is a plant or an herb or a flower that comes with the hedge witch. And this one in particular is St. John's wort. So that's what this is here. Okay, the St. John's wort. And it says St. John's wort has been used to treat melancholy and sadness for hundreds of years. In the Middle Ages, it was used as a sedative to treat disorders of the mind. The wort of St. John is often used in magical spells for health and happiness because its sunny yellow flowers add some joyful color magic. It's an herb that brings calm contemplation and a glad heart. The symbolism of this card is the contemplation card depicts the priestess of contemplation peacefully lost in thought. She is writing her memoirs in a book of shadows. All the wisdom of a life well lived and all the lessons she has learned are recorded for others in moments of quiet meditation. So for those of you who chose this because you're a writer or you've been thinking about writing, or whether you journal, write novels, I don't care if you write recipes. You know what I mean? If you're writing something or you chose this because of this, this is a big yes from Spirit to do that. And I'm feeling like for some of you, the depression is coming because you're not doing that. Like you're happier when you're writing, like you're more yourself when you're writing, whatever it is, poetry, songs. Literally, it's different for all of you guys. I noticed that her feet look barefoot, but she's got like these little talismans on her feet, or not talismans, what do you call them? It almost looks like jewelry. Do you guys see that? Hold on, I'm going to zoom in there. Do you see that? But I know there's like a name for it, like that kind of solas. I know sol is the sun in Spanish. So let's see. Hold on. I feel like she wants to be in the sun. Like she's like, I want to be in the sun. Oh, you know what that reminds me of? Little Mermaid, up where they walk, up where they run, right? And she's like, up where they stay all day in the sun, right? Wandering free, wish I could be part of that world. And it could even be for you, like maybe the world you're in right now isn't very happy. Maybe you're not very happy there, you know? And so Spirit is like, you have to find that sunshine. You have to look for it, you know, in all the places that you can. So if maybe, you know, your living situation, your job, whatever it is, isn't really helping right now, Spirit says then go into your own world. Create your own world. How do you think we know about, you know, Gandalf and the Lord of the Rings and the Wizard of Oz and all of that? That was somebody's imagination. You know, but a lot of it I feel like is maybe somebody's story in a galaxy far, far away, you know, like Star Wars. Maybe you're meant to write movie scripts, manuscripts, you know, maybe you're meant to write a TV show, whatever it is. Go to that place. When I was a little girl, it was a rough place for me. I had a very abusive household. So, you know, I would go to my fantasy world. All of my dolls and my stuffed animals had names, they had backstories. You know what I mean? Like, so, you know, we need to go into those places sometimes to find that imagination. And how we find it is through illumination of self. So let's continue on. So I love that it says too that the St. John's wort, it brings calm contemplation and a glad heart. So work with St. John's wort for sure in whatever way. I mean, obviously, I would always push for you to get the actual plant, you know, instead of just like a crushed up pill. But if you need the pill, like maybe that's what you need, you know what I mean? Or maybe you're meant to make your own, you know, tea or tincture or something like that to aid you. And maybe you have a lot of anxiety, you're an empath, and you feel a lot of different energies, you know, whatever it is, whatever works for you. The symbolism of the card is the contemplation card depicts the priestess of contemplation peacefully lost in thought. She is writing. Oh, we read that. Okay, so it says she is. Oh, okay. Hold on. Okay, so it says she is surrounded by the St. John's wort plant, including the flowers and sea pod. The Scottish Gaelic words solas líomhar, I think that's how you say it, appear, which translates to the Book of Light. In modern day Wicca, the more apt term Book of Light and Shadows is often used to name a witch's grimoire or book of magic. Yeah, so maybe you're meant to write a book of spells or a book of, you know, like telling your story, and like your story is magic, you know. Whatever it is. The priestess is in her twilight years and almost ready to leave the physical world. Her spirit body is starting to shine through in the form of golden wings and a halo. The priestess is happy and content, and as she looks back and reflects on her life, she knows that she has done her best. The divination is, when the priestess of contemplation appears, it represents an excellent opportunity to reflect on your life experiences and the insights you have gained from them. It signifies a time of reflection, a time to glean a deeper understanding of why you are here. This card encourages quiet moments of meditation and deep thought. The reflection ritual is a powerful ritual that can help in understanding the rewards of challenging situations. It says, light 2 white candles, take a favorite journal, and press a fresh frond of St. John's wort between the pages. If you are unable to source fresh St. John's wort, use dried St. John's wort and place it into a small bag and attach it to your journal. In a meditative mood, write down some of the wonderful life lessons that you've learned. They may have been joyful or difficult, but they have made you wiser and the person that you are today. Be grateful for what you have received. The moments of quiet reflection can help us realize the gifts of difficult times. Pass the journal between the 2 candles and imagine the flame symbolically burning away any residual sadness or melancholy that these life lessons may have caused you, and I heard from Spirit, or have lingered behind. So I'm going to bring this down a bit. Oops. Sorry, guys. Okay. If you want to take a screenshot of that so you can do that healing ritual, please take a screenshot now. Okay, so now we're going to move on to the Dragon Path Oracle. So we just read from the Enchanted Spell Oracle deck. I love this. This is the Medieval Hedge Witch Magic deck that we just read from. And it's by the Priestess Moon. It's a great, great, great deck. And now we are going to talk with the dragons, the Dragon Path Oracle. And this is by Caroline Mitchell. And this Enchanted Spell Oracle is by the Priestess Moon. Okay, so now I've already pulled cards. I haven't seen which ones you guys are going to get, but we're going to shuffle them right now. And we'll see which dragon wants to speak to reading number 2. Reading number 2, reading number 2, reading number 2. Okay, this one was like stuck to me. Oh, you guys, let me tell you something. We had one of the Grandmaster Dragons in reading number 1 as well. So if you were drawn to reading number 1, you don't have to, but if you were, kind of going back and forth, or you definitely wanted to watch both, I would go back and watch it. Okay, so this is Merlin the Dragon. And when I looked down, it was 1101, so I'm going to take that as that is your angel number to look up on your own. So remember that the 0 does have value, but you can also look up 111 if you feel more attached to that. I'll be right back. Okay, so there are 4 dragon clans in this oracle deck, and Merlin is from the Grand Master Dragons, and I feel like it's important for you to understand where the dragons come from. They don't always have me do that in certain readings, but today I was really feeling that for this reading. So it says, within the Dragon Path Oracle, there are 5 dragons from Grand Master Clan: Merlin the Dragon, the Philosopher, Platinum, Serene, and Illuminaire. As with the galactic dragons, there are many more dragons in the Grandmaster clan, but it was these 5 who chose to be included. The Grand Masters within the deck are talented master teachers and seers. They will work with all of us, but seek out those who are serious about learning from them, or those already working at an advanced spiritual level. The Grand Masters have all had a human existence here on Earth, whether that is as a philosopher, a visionary, an ascended master, or a religious leader. They can become any of these, as they have the ability to shapeshift and switch between dragon and human form at will. If they have appeared to you in your reading, it is a sign that you can learn much from them. You can be sure you are in great company if you have a Grandmaster Dragon walking beside you. Yes. Oh my gosh, it opened up. It was like opened up almost exactly to it. Okay, so 21, Merlin the Dragon. Continue your journey discovering what you need to learn, understand, and own. Merlin the Dragon, to give him his full name, is an incredibly large and sage old dragon, whose message is one of teaching and learning. And I feel like we need to give him a little, close up. Yeah, because he's really powerful. Thank you, Merlin. Okay, I was like, Merlin, would you like to be in the sun? I can move you over here, brother. There we go. Give him the spotlight. He doesn't mind the spotlight. He deserves it, don't you, Merlin? My, he is beautiful, isn't he? What a beautiful dragon. Okay. If Merlin has found his way into your reading today, his message is this: not all things are as they seem. Some are images being reflected back to you in order for you to understand discernment and learn the lessons of self-trust. Ooh, and listen to that crow medicine. Look it up. Ooh, thank you. Only once you have done this will you discover how to stand in your own power and own who you truly are. The Grandmaster Dragons are able to shapeshift. That crow, it's awesome. Sorry, we're getting a lot of interruptions. Oh, listen to that. Hi, crow, we hear you. Thank you for the medicine. So if you don't know this already, crows are all about magic. So Merlin is all about magic, and the crows came in just at that moment for a reason. So I will put it in the description box below for you to research. If you're new here, you just put in crow spirit animal, spirit medicine, spiritual meaning, whatever feels good to you, whatever search engine you want to use, and it will, it'll give you the medicine that you are seeking. But yeah, I mean, the fact that you have Merlin, and then you have the crow, and they're both about magic. This is for spirit to tell you, like, it's time to transition into who you really are, like full force. And I'm like, I will follow the sun for you, Merlin. Whatever you need, brother. I'm like, I will follow the sun. But also that you need to rest and restore and go with the moon cycles as much as you can. Also, you guys, it's not an accident that this owl feather, I think it's an owl feather, spirit, I got the vibe that it was, but this was in my path this morning on my walk. So owls are all about wisdom as well. So you might want to look up, the fact that now we have an owl right? It's like I was just moving with the flow. Like there's shit all over the table. Not shit, but there's like, you know what I mean? There's the stuff all over the table. And that's what just happened to like come into your reading. But there are no accidents. So you are magical, very magical. Thank you, Crow Medicine. Okay. So the Grandmaster Dragons are able to shapeshift in between their dragon and human or angelic form in whichever guise they adopt. Merlin is the teacher of the teachers, so heed his wise counsel. You are unable to teach others until you fully understand the lessons yourself. Once you have mastered these, you are in a position of clarity and ownership and can share your wisdom with integrity and power. Until then, hold your tongue and continue your journey discovering what you need to learn, understand, and own. Only then, yeah, I feel like the crow was like, yeah. Only then will you be in the place of authority to share your knowledge with others. If you notice that owls, oh, that's right. Oh my gosh, that's right. I forgot Merlin. By the way, this was on the next page. I didn't even like notice it until I turned the next page. But yeah, I forgot about that. Merlin used to always have a owl on his shoulder. Oh my gosh, look at this, you guys. Oh my gosh, the serendipity. I can't plan it myself. I mean, I could, and obviously my higher self did, but you know what I mean? It's like, this is where I love working with spirit and nature, and like, it's just so much magic. Thank you, Crow Spirit. So if you notice that owls keep crossing your path, know that Merlin is around you and willing to share his infinite wisdom with you and show you what you need to learn. He will stretch you and answer questions with another question, encouraging you to seek the answer from within. He is not an easy grandmaster to work with, but he will guide you well. And let me tell you something from my own personal story. I have been working with Elder Crone, Reiki Master Witch, and Fairy Queen, and boy, they have helped me so much to see a lot of things that I didn't really want to see, or I didn't want to accept, or I didn't, and how much I was trying to control things and trying to help. I was over helping people. So, if you've done spirit work with me, sometimes I tend to over help. It's not ego, at least I don't feel like it's ego, but then I realize it is, because it's not my job as I bring in this healing amethyst. It's not my job. My job is just to lead you, right? I'm a healer for the healers too. So, this is probably my pile as well if Spirit has me watch a reading today. But it's like, and even, look at this. Look at this heart shape. There's like a heart in this. Do you see this in this shell? It's so amazing, but I felt like I wanted to stick the owl feather in there. But I feel like that's what Spirit's saying is like, it's cool. Like maybe you're teaching a Reiki class, or maybe you're teaching, something, yoga. I don't know, whatever it is, but maybe you're not quite the master at it. And maybe you could, like stand to learn a little bit more or work with it a little bit more. I'm just getting from Spirit that, maybe you need to take some time to rest and restore and see what it is that you're missing, right? And to remember to do your spirit work with integrity. I mean, obviously, you have all of these beautiful energies on your side, so you're doing something right. Don't be hard on yourself. It's just that I do it too. We all do it. It's easy to fall into that kind of category. Also, sometimes I don't mean to, but it's not even the overhelping that I do. Look at this, by the way. I wonder if you guys can see this. Look at the shell. It looks like so many different things. But it's beyond the overhelping. It's like sometimes I feel like I'm like seeing something and watching somebody doing something over and over and over, and I'm just like trying to get them to see the pattern that they're doing. And I said to her, I go, what's wrong with helping people to like figure out? And she's like, because it's not your journey. She goes, because it's theirs. She was, it's not yours, it's theirs. And I was like, oh, and that's a hard one to swallow. It's true. It's like, if you, whether it's your kids, your friends, your family, your coworker, your partner, everybody's going to move at their own pace, and they're going to go through things at their own level of consciousness. So if you want to stay in this relationship, or you want to keep these people in your life, then you have to be patient, and only give the wisdom when they're asking for it, and not when you think they should have it. Again, speaking of my own experience, right? I feel like Merlin's coming in to be like, yeah, like, no joke, you guys. Like, you gotta, like, let these people do whatever it is that they need to do, because it's not your puzzle to solve. Merlin just said, it's not your puzzle to solve. It's their story. It's their puzzle. I have to show you this rock, by the way, because it's so pretty. I feel like you guys will appreciate this. So that was the rock that you just saw, right? But look at it now that it's wet. It's like a big frickin' agate. And sometimes you can see it in the sun. You can almost see through it. I picked this up at the ocean last week. Okay? And when that's happening with that person, get grounded. Get out into nature. Take a walk. Take a breath. Merlin's like, call on him. He'll work with you, right? Call on contemplation. Go sit with your book, your journal, whatever it is you're doing. Maybe you're making a photograph book, But also that time alone will really help you to find the messages. And that crow won't stop, so clearly you need to work with crow medicine. Anyway, you got it. Until next time, you guys, take really good care of yourselves and each other. All of my information and any research for this reading will be in the description box below. And I'll see you at the next reading. Blessed be. Oh, love you.